My name is Lauren and welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited for today's video, but before I get into it, I just want to give a shout out. I just had my makeup done by my sister and I think she did an awesome job. If you guys want to check out her Instagram, I'm going to link it down below. She does special event makeup and she's amazing. So just had to say that. And for today's video, I am going to be showing you guys how I style my hair using the Amika High Tide Deep Waver. I have been obsessed with this. It's been my go-to so far all summer and I've just been loving it, and as I've been using it, I've been just finding some good little tips and tricks. So if you guys want to see how I style my hair using the Amika Waver, please keep watching. Okay, so first, as always, before using any type of heat on your hair, I'd go ahead and spray the heat protectant. Just make sure you just give a little bit of spray there. You want to make sure that it dries too before you put the heat on. I know that kind of sounds self-explanatory, but sometimes I've forgotten. So I'm just gonna go ahead and brush it out and let it dry. Okay, once it's dried, I'd go ahead and start sectioning off your hair. I like to sort of just section about less than midway through, so about like right here. That's where I would start. And I'm just gonna go ahead and pin this up with my claw clip. Okay, and then I'm gonna section that in half. I'm gonna brush this out. Okay, now that this has heated up, it takes really fast to actually heat up. And I usually just use it on the setting that it's at, which is 180 degrees Celsius, which is pretty hot. And it does go hotter, and it does obviously go lower, but when you turn it on, it's initially at 180 degrees Celsius. That's where I like to keep it. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is I section it off, and then I'm just gonna take a chunk in the back here, and I'm gonna start with this. So I found that starting with the lower sections, you wanna go as high as you can, like with the crimper. So I'll show you what I mean. So I'm gonna go ahead and start at the very top, right? So you're not gonna really leave any hair from here to here, if that makes sense. So I'm just gonna leave it for a couple of seconds because you want it to make sure that it gets the wave. And then I'm gonna take it off and you're gonna move it to where this ended. So like right here, we're gonna go right there, okay? And I am just gonna warn you that this definitely takes a longer time than regular curling, because regular curling you can kind of just do the whole piece at once. This takes more time because you have to do each part of the hair. So it takes a little bit longer. But as you can see, it's coming out like such a nice wave. I love it. And I have found that the ends can be a little bit tricky, but what I like to do with that is I just kind of pull it up and I just kind of get the end in like that. So that way it's not like stick straight and it has a little bit of curl at the end. So now we're gonna go ahead with the next section and we're gonna do the same thing. And again, we're gonna do the bottom just like that. Like I said, this end section gets a little bit tricky because sometimes it comes out a little wonky, but we're gonna work around it and make sure that it doesn't. So here's what I mean. So I'll take this and just go like that, right on the end. I'm just gonna leave it for a few seconds and then take it out. And you see how it has that perfect wave like that? And then we're gonna go ahead and just do the same thing here. And again, we're gonna do the same thing. Look at how cool this wave is coming out. I love it. Okay, and again, we're gonna do the end just like we did last time. So I'm gonna take it and just go like that. Perfect. Now we're gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the other side. So we're gonna just take a smaller section in the back, just like this, and we're gonna go ahead and start at the top. So as you can see, like that. And again, we're just gonna leave it for a couple of seconds. I don't know why, but it feels like it's so hot right now, so I just went and lowered it to 170 degrees Celsius because it was just feeling really warm. I don't know if maybe it's just warm in here and that's why, but I lowered it a little bit. As you can see, some like hair is sticking out, right? So like I said, when this is done, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of rearrange it so that those hairs get in. See? Okay. And again, I'm gonna go ahead, take another section and do the same thing. Okay, it's still going. Again, we're gonna make sure that we get that end piece in so it has a nice wave also. See? You just move it slowly. You don't wanna mess up the wave, but you wanna make sure you get that in. Okay, done. Now on to the next. So once you get the hang of it, it gets a lot easier. The first time I did it, took me forever because I kept going over it and I wasn't getting the right angle, I guess. But you wanna make sure that it's kind of, you're holding it like this. That way you're not pulling on anything and that it's literally loose and it's just getting the hair. Look how good it already looks. Like, it looks so good, I love it. So now I'm gonna go ahead and section off some more hair, but I'm gonna do just one section at a time. So I'm gonna take about like the middle here, from like here to here. I'm gonna go in the middle and section that off. So here's the hair, and then I'm gonna put the rest up. Like I said, I've used it so many times now that I've really gotten the hang of it, but it definitely takes some practice. Okay, so now I'm gonna take, again, starting from the back, a section of hair. And again, we're gonna start from the top. As you can see, look, it has that nice wave going on. And again, we're gonna do the same thing with the ends here. Make sure you just get it all in. When I said it takes a lot of time, you have to do each part of like the section, and I'm telling you, it just takes forever. But here we go. So now we're just gonna start just like that. So look how good that looks. Okay, now moving on to the next section. So we're just gonna again section off the last two parts and repeat the same thing. See, that fell out a little bit, so I'm just gonna go right over it. Make sure that it gets in there. Look at how good it's coming out. Love it. Okay, so now again, we're gonna go ahead and section this part as well. Same thing in the middle, and we're gonna take that hair and let it out. Okay, and again, we're just gonna do sections and start from the back and start high up. So yeah, we're just gonna repeat the same thing. Okay, look how good it's coming out. I love how full it looks. We are on to the last section. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do one at a time. So I'm just gonna do this side first. Just gonna let that hair down, and I'm gonna keep this hair up. Okay, so now that we are at the top, the technique is gonna be a little bit different. What we're gonna do is we're not gonna start at the top like we did the other sections, because it kind of gives it a little wonky look. So we're gonna start lower, probably about right here. I would say like where your hair falls, like right at the side of your head. So, and you'll see what I mean, because I didn't do that the first time and it didn't come out good. So I've learned that this is how it should be done. So we're gonna go ahead and start like here, not at the very top of the root. I'm telling you, when you do it like this, it just lays nicer on your head. And you'll see what I mean as I get closer in, how it lays. Again, we're not going to start at the very root, we're going to start a little bit lower. If you feel that you started too low, you can always go over it again. However, it's a pain if you start too high to have to like straighten it and fix it. So I'd rather start too low than start too high. So again, as we're getting closer, we're gonna start further down. Here is the front. See what I mean when I said shouldn't start too high? You can always go ahead and go over it again and, you know, kind of shape it. But for now, I'm going to move on to the last section. And again, we're going to just treat this section exactly how we did the other. So I'm just going to brush it out, and we're going to start from the back again, but we're not going to start at the root like we did all the other times. We're going to start a little bit lower. hair. I'm just going over it again because I didn't like the shape that came out. Okay, better. Okay, now I'm gonna kind of just run my hands through it and just shake it out a little bit. So, look how freaking cool and summery this looks. I almost feel like it kind of looks like my natural curls or waves. However you want to say, it's kind of curly, kind of wavy. But this is definitely more of like a perfect wave, and I love it for the summer. So what I would go ahead and do now is either do some hairspray or like a wave spray if you guys have. I'm not gonna spray it because I'm not a huge hairspray person. My hair also holds this wave so well, it doesn't fall out at all. So I don't spray it. But if your hair tends to fall out, I would definitely use a little bit of hairspray, give it a nice shake, and then I'd say you're good to go. So I'm totally loving this look. I hope you guys love it just as much as I do. And if you have any questions, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. Like I said before, I'm loving the waver right now, and I think it is super cool. Also, I'm just gonna say it definitely takes like a little bit to get used to because this is so big. Like, look at this. I don't usually use a waver, so this to me is really big, a little foreign, but once you start and working with it, you'll get the hang of it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you loved this video. I hope you enjoyed watching me get this super cool beachy hairstyle, and thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.